inside of me.
I'm so excited.
I am enough.
All right, we are back. Our first guest just blew it out of the water as we expected. You know, certain people come into the studio, you just have expectation. All right, so we have our next guest, the amazing, the powerful Miss Lisa Anderson. She is the president of Positively in Pursuit LLC. I love that name, by the way.
Thank you.
Love it. Positively in Pursuit. Two of my favorite words: positivity and pursuit. And Lisa is an HR professional with 25 years of HR experience, who recently launched her own coaching business with a focus on helping other HR professionals grow in their careers. She grew up in the HR field, has worked at every level of HR, starting as a recruiter and working her way up to the vice president level. Look at you. She has a passion for working with others who are frustrated, feeling stuck, and know they can do more in their careers. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're
I'm
super
so excited.
Yes, we are excited to have you. Positively in Pursuit. Well,
Yes.
let's talk about, first of all, where you came up with that name. Why that name? What is the kind of the mission or vision of the business, the company?
Sure.
And I hear little Birdie told me it took you 20 years to finally say yes. So talk
Yes.
about how you finally got to your yes.
So, Positively in Pursuit came to me back in 2003. I actually went out there and registered the name with the state of Maryland, had business cards made, and did nothing with it.
Come on, y'all, raise your hand at home if that's you. You've done that before. You got
Yes.
all excited.
Got excited, went and registered, didn't know what I was doing. Registered the name, and then just nothing. Sat on the shelf. And so once I started, of course, getting out there and like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Then the name came right back to me. And so when I registered the business, they said, oh, the name is taken. I was like, yeah, by me.
Yeah, it's mine.
It's mine, back in 2003. So that's where I love the name, because it's all about attitude.
Yeah.
And you can do anything if you have a positive attitude, and start at a place where positivity, because when you meet some people and everything that comes out is negative.
Oh my God, it's so
just
draining.
negative. It's draining energy, draining energy. And so that whole positive, if you can just start, even if you don't have all the things in your toolkit,
Absolutely.
even if you can just start with the positive attitude, that's half the battle.
Absolutely.
So that's why positively, and then be in pursuit of your dreams, of your goals. Be positively in pursuit of those things, and you'll see your life shift.
Absolutely.
I'm living testimony of
Yeah,
that.
and you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
and Anita talked about this as well before you came on, and we talked about the importance of just the self-talk, the internal dialogue, and it does have to be positive. And I know that we hear all the time. We hear this thing, oh, speak it, and it will come to. It's not just speak it.
Right.
But, I mean, that's a big part of it, but the bigger part of it, just to put it into perspective, is that the more you say something, the more your subconscious mind believes it.
Yes.
So if you're saying negative, it'll never happen, I'll never hit $1 million mark, I'll never be that business owner, I'm never going to be able to leave my job. If you saying that, whatever it is that you are thinking, that's probably what's going to happen. What's the quote by Henry Ford? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right.
Exactly.
So you're right, whatever
Exactly.
you're feeding yourself.
Absolutely. And I do believe in the law of attraction.
Yes.
So if you putting that negative energy out there,
Yep.
it just always appears that that's what's coming back to you.
Absolutely.
So again, just being in that positive frame of mind, and just being able to, again, you may not have it all together, but just the positive frame of mind can take you just right in that right direction.
Yeah, and so you said you had this breakthrough. So you initially registered the business name in 2003.
Yes.
And here we are,
20
several years later.
Yes.
So what
yes.
was the breakthrough moment? What made you
Yes.
say, I'm going back to that thing, that dream that I had, and I'm going to revive it and give it life?
Right. So I've been on the sideline for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I've been married 18 years. When I met my husband 23 years ago, I told him, I'm going to own my own business. And it never happened. Because why? Fear.
Yeah.
Just the fear of movement, the fear of putting myself out there. And so in my professional life and in corporate, I was successful. I was moving up the corporate ladder left and right, and things were happening. And then, but it was this one thing in my life that I just was definitely afraid of. And so I got to the point in my career that I wasn't happy. Things, you know, when you go to work and you have that mask on, just like I had the mask on and I was just going through the day to day. And I was like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah.
I need more.
Yeah.
And so what ended up happening, I said, okay, let me take a step back. Let me do, like our last guest said, let me get quiet. Let me do that inner reflection. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to start a coaching certification program. Got in the coaching certification program. And in this program, I was being coached as well as learning the skills of becoming a coach. And the peer coach said to me, well, you've had all the success in your, you know, your corporate life. Why do you think you're not going to have success with the business?
Right.
Oh my goodness, that was the life change. Tears just started coming down my face. I said, I can't answer that question. She was like, but look, I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And so you've had this success, and when it comes to your own business, you believe that you're not going to be successful at it. And why is that?
Yeah.
And I really had to walk away, get quiet, and say, why is that? I can't answer the question.
Yeah.
And so that was breakthrough. That was the first breakthrough.
Yeah.
So right around the same time, I received a ticket to go to your Playtime is Over conference
Yes,
last
come on, Playtime is
November.
Over.
Yes. So both days, I'm sitting Friday and Saturday. I'm sitting in the back row, me and a friend. And I'm sitting in the back row, and I'm watching all these women get up and tell their stories.
Yeah.
And I'm on the back row boo-hooing. Tears, every segment. I had a whole box of tissues. I'm like, and I'm just, because I'm thinking I'm not enough. Why am I not enough? And I'm looking at the women in the room, and I'm like, wow, but look at these women. They're doing it. That was the second breakthrough. So that was last, November?
Yes. Yep.
January, I was sitting in my accountant's office, was like, I'm starting an LLC. What's the paperwork?
Yeah.
Can you file it? Get it going? Get it together? The next month, I'm in the bank, like I'm opening a business bank account.
I love it.
And look, I'm just like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm opening the business. I need the business bank account, please. We need everything separated. And then the next month, I'm like, I'm doing a website. Get the website up.
Yeah.
And here I am. And it's like, okay, baby steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
That's it. Like, if you guys don't take anything else away, baby steps. Don't be
Baby
afraid of
steps.
taking the baby steps and figure it out as you're going along.
Yes.
Because most times, you're not going to have the full blueprint mapped out. It
Yes.
just doesn't work that way. Or you think you got the blueprint mapped out.
Right.
And bam, you hit a wall, or there's a detour, and now you're like, like you have to be, there's a saying with Lisa Nichols in her coaching program, you have to be fluid and flexible.
Yes.
Fluid and flexible.
And
to be
learn
willing
as you
to
go.
move. Yes.
Yes.
Without all the answers. So you said so many powerful things in that. And that goes to the pursuit.
Yes.
You're positively in pursuit.
Yes.
Pursuit means movement. It means action. It
Yes.
means you're doing something. You're not sitting and waiting for greatness to fall in your lap, because that's never going to happen.
Right.
You never get what you deserve. You get what you demand in life.
Yes.
How do you demand what you want? You show up. People ask me all the time,
Absolutely.
like, how did you get here, Cheryl? I show up. I keep showing up.
Absolutely.
Whether I'm scared, whether there's fear, whether I think I don't belong, whether I'm not sure why I'm there, I still show up, because I figure I'll get the answer
Yes.
by being in motion.
Yes, and I've learned so much on this journey.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, because being in corporate for over 20 years, the whole entrepreneurship, that's totally new for me.
Yeah.
So, so the first thing I did, it was like, okay, I don't know what I don't know, so I need to hire a business coach.
Yep.
And so I have a business coach, and she's helping me with marketing and, my messaging and all of that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this.
Yes.
I'm doing it.
And
I've been on the
beautiful thing
sideline.
about it is, this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to go through your process. You're going to go through your journey. You're going to, a year from now, you'll be somewhere different than you are right now.
Yes.
And then you're going to be able to take everything that you learn, and now you'll be able to empower and inspire somebody else who is exactly where you are right now. There's just so much power in that. Like, just think about that. Like, I am where I am right now for a reason. Because this is what I tell people. If you ain't been through nothing, you can't tell me nothing. If you ain't been through nothing, you can't tell me nothing. If you don't know how it feels to be afraid to do it. If you don't know how it feels not to know all the answers. If you don't know how it feels to stand up on a stage and you're nervous, but you do it anyway. If you don't know something, you can't tell me nothing. because you haven't been where I am. A big part of connecting with people, that connector, is sharing the mess that you've been through, the story that you've been through. That's why telling your story is so powerful. So a year from now, there's going to be somebody who is exactly where you are right now, and they will not move until they connect with you.
Ooh, I
now
received
you
that.
will be-
Oh
you
my
will be
goodness.
that voice of reason
Yeah.
to, hey, look, I was exactly where you are. You guys know how that is, like when you connect with somebody and they say, oh yeah, well, let me tell you about my story. Yeah, I was there. Oh yeah, I
Yes.
did that. Oh, that happened to me too. And like, what? Because now they'll see you in a different light. But you'll be able to go back and tell them and share with them exactly how you felt. Girl, I remember I was so scared.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Scared to
so
death.
there's power in right where you are right now is so much power. So that's why we always say as coaches, don't despise small beginnings.
Yes.
Because there's power in the small beginning. So where do you see yourself?
Okay, so
6 months. Let's say 6 months.
6 months from now?
6 months from now and 12 months from now. What's
Okay.
going to be different about Lisa in 6 months and 12 months than what we see right now?
Okay, so what I'm working on is taking these 25 years of HR experience. You know, I have the certifications, I have it, and now what I'm taking, and I'm in the workplace. You know, I'm still in corporate America. So what I'm doing is taking this experience, what I'm seeing in the workplace, and I told you I'm starting to shift a little bit because I'm seeing women leaders and women managers out there that need help. So they're out there, they're aspiring to get up that corporate ladder, but some of them don't have the interpersonal skills.
Right.
Some of them don't have the executive presence if they're at a certain level. Some of them can't tap emotionally because when we show emotion in the workplace, that can be perceived as a weakness.
Absolutely.
And so I'm learning, you know, it's just based on my experience. And then on the flip side, you know, working with the employees, you know, I've had employees in my office that are working with the manager that they can't connect with.
Right.
And guess what? There's conflict.
Right.
And so then they're in my office, you know, as the HR person, right? And I'm mediating between an employee and the manager. So where I see myself, I'm working on, I'm expanding, you know, my heart and my passion is HR professionals because that's what I am. And I love
And you see how she
the
lights up when she
teaching.
said that?
Yes,
like,
that's my
how
passion.
you know that's your thing. That's how you know, because it's just something that it's a little light bulb, extra little something that come on. You can tell when somebody is walking in the thing they're supposed to be walking in because it's just something different to have. So your energy has been great the whole time, but just now when you just said that, it was a heightened level of energy and excitement.
So I can't forget my HR piece, right?
Yes.
So, but I see a need.
Yeah.
I see a need for us with a different group, and I definitely have the experience and the expertise to help someone shift their energy, shift to whatever their career path is. You know, there's probably some things that are holding you back from getting you to that next level, and let's explore that.
I love that. And you mentioned several of them. You mentioned the executive presence.
Yes.
You mentioned the emotional intelligence, and there was one other that I missed. That you said at the beginning.
Well, I have several. So credibility and trust.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Learning how to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Managers, especially women, we struggle with that. You know, being in a room full of men, and I can attest to this, you know, as I've moved up the corporate ladder, sometimes I'm in the room, I'm the only female and the only minority. Right? And so you're in that room, how do you find your voice?
Yes.
You
Ooh, that's
know?
so good.
How do you because I've had women say to me, women leaders said, I'm in the room, but I feel invisible.
So then let's give them a tip. Let's give them a takeaway.
Sure.
As we are in like our last 10 minutes of the segment. Give us some, just one or two things, strategies, techniques that a woman who is, because I work with a lot of women who are I'm in that space sometimes. I'm on a speaker roster, and I'm the only one that looks like me. A lot of times minority is the first thing, but sometimes it's also that I'm the only female in the room. I've had that happen with a number of speaking opportunities. And one of my goals is really to help more women of color to be able to step up and to be able to be on those platforms. But what would be a couple of strategies or techniques that you would say to a woman who is in that space?
Sure.
Or even a woman who wants to grow, but she's afraid that she will have to then tackle that challenge.
Yes. So, and again, I can talk a little bit from personal experience, you know, being sometimes that person in the room. So the first thing I would say, when I'm in the room, I know my stuff. So I've
Come
done
on.
my homework.
Come on, do your
right?
homework. Number one, do
Yeah.
you know we mapping out your program right now.
Oh,
Number one,
oh.
do your homework.
Yes.
Be educated, be informed. Okay, I love it.
Absolutely. You know, I'm gonna know my stuff because
Yes.
I'm gonna contribute to the
Yes.
conversation, and I want to be able to show my value.
Yes.
Right. So that's where credibility comes in. Right.
Yep.
Know your stuff, because as an HR professional, and this is what I tell other HR professionals, as you move up the corporate ladder and you're sitting in that room with the executive team, with your counterparts, they're not talking HR, they're talking business. And so, you know, for my career path, I had to learn the business because they're not talking HR principles and concepts. They're talking about business, and then I'm adding the people strategies.
So give us an example. What does that mean? They're talking about business, not HR.
Sure. So I can give you a great example. So I've been in the room where we're getting ready as an executive team, make a decision whether we're going to shut down one of our operations. So they're talking about revenue, profit. They're talking about customers. Where is that work going to go? And so I am in the room and I'm contributing to that conversation, right? But I'm also, okay, so we're talking through that. So what's going to happen to the employees?
Right.
Where's the people strategy here?
Right.
How do we redeploy?
Right.
How do we move them elsewhere? Unfortunately, I've been in situations we have to lay off. Well, what does that look like? How are we going to treat our employees?
Absolutely.
Here's the severance package strategy.
Yep.
So here's the talking points, manager, because it's you and I that are going to be addressing the employees, right? So again, coming to the table, because what I don't want people to say, oh, she's just the HR lady.
Right.
She don't have nothing to say.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely
Come on.
not.
Come on. Come on.
Right?
Two of my biggest things, there's the three-part thing that I always share with every person. The three things you always have to do. You got to show up, you got to speak up, and then you have to follow up. And you just talked about two of them, showing up at the table and speaking up.
Absolutely.
You got to speak up. You have to add some type of value. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So the next strategy.
I hope y'all taking notes. I hope you taking notes.
So the next strategy is, okay, so doing your homework and
Yes.
but then, like you said, and speaking up, right? Because if you're in the room and you know it and you're not articulating or saying it,
Yes.
they don't really know that you know it. So
yeah.
speaking up, and then being able to really get that point across. Because I have been in the room where I make a point and they discount me, and then 10 minutes later, the guy down the table makes
Says
the same point, and they be
oh,
like, oh,
that's such a good idea.
yes. And so one strategy that I've done, I was like, oh, I'm glad you agree, Robert.
Yes.
I made that point 10 minutes ago, so let me finish, you know. So
Yes.
really taking, because guess what? The men, they don't think twice about that.
They don't.
They like, oh, just take your idea.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I'm glad you agree with me since I made that point 10 minutes ago. So let's talk about
Yes.
you know. But again, you know, I've been in situations like that, but a lot of women don't have the courage.
That's right.
They don't
right.
have the courage, and they're not comfortable
Yes.
with doing that. So how do we how do you learn how to get that but still stay true and authentic to you and your personality? Because that's my personality, right? I get in the room like, really? Okay. You know,
Right.
that's me.
Right,
But,
but everybody might
everybody's
not
not
be.
like
Exactly,
that.
exactly.
So what feels good to you? How do you articulate and get your points across that's authentic?
Yeah, and how do you present it in a way where it's
Not the
it's
angry
assertive,
black
but
woman.
not it's
Yeah.
It's assertive. It's you know, you have a commanding presence, but
Yes.
you don't come across as the bee in the room as we are often
Exactly.
referred to.
Yes.
As soon as we express ourselves and
Yes.
speak up. So I think that is huge.
Yes.
That alone, that's a whole module right there in your program.
And-
That's a whole training module right there.
Yes,
because that's
you're
real.
That is real. That is real. And some women get the bad rep because of
Yes,
that.
yes.
Because they're so assertive and so forthright
Yes.
that people are like, oh, you know,
And do you-
she's difficult.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
and
word.
Do you agree, though? Sometimes it is like in the speaker world. One of the things I train is about vocal variety.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it's not even what you say; it's how you say it, how
Yes.
you present. It's the tone in which you present it. Do you agree that that can have a huge impact?
I definitely agree. Also, before I even got into the room, I've built relationships. So that's another big big strategy when you move up. You're building relationships with the people around that table. That's how you get comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, I'm in somebody else's office and asking, oh, how are you? How's your family? I'm building that relationship. So when we get in the room, people already, okay, I know she's coming from a different,
good place.
Good place.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, because sometimes we can be in our own little cocoon and we don't reach out across, right? And so, as women leaders, you have to build those relationships.
Yeah.
And so that's when you get in these meetings, they're like, oh, okay.
Well, it sounds like we're going to have to do you like we did Anita and have you come back sooner than later, because this is such good information that women need to hear.
Yes.
We need more women who are in C-suite positions, who are in senior level positions, who are leaders and influencers and aren't holding back because, like you said, because they lack the courage to get out in the forefront, and because they're fearful of what being in the front can actually present, the challenges. No, we just need you to be prepared for the challenges.
Absolutely.
We know the challenge is going to show up.
They're
That's life.
coming.
Anything that you do, any
They're
business, career, it doesn't matter. Life, the challenges are coming. It's prepping you and taking that proactive vantage point of getting ready for. How do I handle?
Yes.
And that's why you're going to sign up for Lisa's course that she's strategizing and mapping out now.
Absolutely.
Because of 25 years of HR experience, come on. This is the pro that you want to go to.
Yes.
So closing words, closing thoughts,
yes.
anything you want people to know and how they can reach out to you.
Yes. So closing thoughts. So 2019, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to, I have individual clients right now, but again, I'm really trying to put together that group where I can do, especially women who may be new in leadership, new managers, and they're not getting that support, from their manager, or they don't want to be vulnerable enough to, so they want to work on themselves, that inner self. And so I'm working on that program. And I'm big thing. So I'm now starting to blog more.
Awesome.
Trying to get a social media presence out there.
Good.
So I'm starting to blog more. And of course, I'm in your speakers lab.
Come on.
So,
you ready.
Far, I've spoken in my local HR chapters, and I did a presentation. I did a webinar on executive presence for HR professionals. Now I've received requests to take HR professionals who are my heart, yes, but other people need it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, repurpose that webinar and get that back out there just for anyone who's looking to increase executive presence in the workplace.
I love that.
So I'm gonna get that out there. And so, yes, I'm just looking forward to working with more people. Again, still taking baby steps. Baby steps.
Power and taking baby steps.
Yes.
Power.
So getting my signature program together, taking the baby steps, and really getting more out there and speaking and my social media presence. So.
Well, we're excited. We're excited that you said yes to getting started.
Yes.
Guys, you owe it to yourself, especially going into 2019, to say yes more than you say no. Give yourself the opportunity to explore, to shift, to pivot, to take the detours, to face the challenges. Like, you have the goods. That's my saying for 20. Like, I got the goods. Repeat that to yourself every day. I got the goods to do this. I can do this.
I can do this.
And the more you tell yourself the more your subconscious mind believes it. Yes. And literally your actions will start to align with the beliefs that you have. So I love that you're doing this. I know that it's needed in the market, in the corporate space. And it's going to blow up. I already know. It's just going to blow up.
I'm accepting
You're going to come back in a year. You're going to be like, what's happening now?
Okay.
Girl, let me tell you.
Positively in Pursuit is my website.
I love it.
I'm on Facebook under Positively in Pursuit, and Instagram and Twitter is Positively P-Suit, because we couldn't fit all the words on there. And Instagram is Positively in Pursuit.
Fantastic.
So.
Thank you for being with us.
Keep
up the great work. We are wishing you a lot of success. Guys, we will be back here. I think we'll be back here. What's next week? December the what?
12th.
December 12th. All right, so we'll be here live December 12th. I don't think we'll be here. We won't be here the week of Christmas. The 26th. But we'll definitely be here next week with 2 more amazing guests. Until then, keep impacting the world with your unique gift. We will see you next week.
Bye.
We have powerful words. We have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. ready to work. We're ready to win. We have a strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win.